Now let's talk about offshore wind projects in Oregon. The federal government has been working to get wind turbines spinning off our southern coast for several years now, but the process has not exactly been a smooth one. Environmental reporter Cale Williams joins me with an update. Cale?
Yeah, so like you said, this plan has been in the works for several years, but not everybody on the coast is a fan. The commissioners in Curry and Coos County voted last week to send a question to the voters in both of those counties, essentially asking, should we continue to oppose offshore wind development? And there's several reasons that people out there are wary. They're worried about environmental impacts from the turbines themselves. Some of the tribes on the coast are worried about impacts to their cultural properties out there. And then there's the folks in the fishing industry. Earlier today, I talked to Heather Mann. She's the executive director of the Midwater Trawlers Cooperative. Here's what she had to say.
We're just really concerned as well about being displaced out of our traditional fishing areas. You will not be able to fish with trawl gear, for example, or long lines within turbine farms. It's just not going to be possible. And we're food providers, and we've harvested hundreds of millions of pounds of sustainable seafood out of these areas, which we will no longer have access to.
So a high level of concern obviously there, but what are these county votes? What will they mean?
Well, depends on who you ask. I mean, these are non-binding resolutions. So these are federal projects in federal waters. So really what the county says about it isn't really going to have a ton of power to change it. But I mean, when I talked to Heather Mann and when I watched these commission meetings from last week, people out there are very frustrated. They feel like the federal government is not listening to what they had to say. And so I think this is kind of their last chance to sort of get on record what the feeling is out there on the coast.
Yeah, okay. And then where are we in the process of getting these things up and going?
Well, it's moving, but it's the federal government, so it's moving slowly. And so they have an auction scheduled for October, and that's going to be when potential developers can bid on these areas off the coast. From there, you go into a long period of environmental impacts, safety reviews, site analyses, all these types of things. It could take up to 5 to 7 years. And, you know, speaking again about the federal government, if it takes longer than that, I would not be surprised.
Wow, okay. But it'll still be too fast for those folks who hate to see it coming.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, all right. Interesting. Great stuff, Cale. Thank you so much.